Okay, I'm either live or I'm not live. I'm a total numpty, and welcome to my very first live stream as Uncle Matt does keto. And this will be the worst live stream you've ever watched. So I'm not going to pretend that I really know what I'm doing here. I started this channel a little while ago. The purpose of it was that I was getting really overweight, and I couldn't see another way to stop this path to ill health and an early grave, other than to seriously reduce the amount of carbohydrates that I have in my diet and sugar. So I've more or less cut out sugar and carbs. And I was very pleased this morning. I had a little benchmark this morning. I got below 15 stones. So the first time in an extremely long time in my life, my weight started with 14, not a 15. For those watching across the pond in America, 1 stone is 14 pounds. At one stage in my life, I was close to 270 pounds. That was 19 stones. That was really shocking. I did lose some weight. I took a sort of, it's not a cheat's way because it was very, very difficult to go through the process, but I had a balloon fitted in my stomach a few years ago, which I have done previous videos on this on my channel about that. But what can I say about that? It worked. I lost weight. I lost about, at one stage I lost about 2.5 stones. So that's like, over 30 pounds. If you're in the rest of the world, it's about 6.5 kilos to a stone. So sorry about my, not having all the figures there. I told you. Worst, least professional stream you'll ever see. But anyway, so the balloon did a job. I lost weight because it prevents you from eating so much food. But actually, towards the end of having the balloon fitted, I actually started to put weight on for the last couple of months of the year that I had it inside me for. So it hadn't dealt with the issue in here. Anyway, so my weight started going back up again. And so I decided to cut out carbs. And I can't believe that I didn't do this earlier in my life. It has revolutionized my life. And as I say, I was a chef by trade. And so cooking and eating is a massive part of my life. And I have another channel, and it's called Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. So that's why I kept the Uncle Matt thing going. Anyway, today in this live stream, I thought I would talk about addictive personality. I'm sure we all know that phrase. And if you're watching this because, you're struggling with weight, you probably consider yourself that you have an addictive personality. Now, I don't think it's been officially acknowledged by the psychiatrists out there as an official disorder, but I don't care, right? We know what it is. You know that whatever it is you do, you seem to just, this is the thing I'm doing, and you do it to excess. So my issue was food, and still is to a certain degree alcohol. I'm one of those people where I joke around, 1's too many, 10's not enough. If you're talking about, glasses of wine or beer or something like that, so you just, instead of just having a couple of drinks, you have loads. And that's the thing, you want to be drunk. I was the same when I used to smoke cigarettes. I would think, right, I've got to have, when's the next opportunity for a cigarette? Oh, I better have 2 or 3. Why would you do that? It's crazy. Anyway, so I made a few notes about traits for what you would consider to be addictive personality. So there's obsessing. Yeah, this is my next new thing that I'm doing. Okay. Always wanting more. That was again, I just said a minute ago, like I said, with alcohol, you've got to you can't just have a drink. You've got to go to a point where you're drunk, and that goes the same for, I don't have any issues with other things. I don't do drugs, and shopping is not a thing for me. I've never really gambled other than a lottery ticket, but I understand it's the same thing. You just have, it's a different type of condition, a different substance or thing that you're addicted to. Lying. Now, I think mostly with me, it might be lying to yourself. So with food and food issues, that secret eater. So that person that's, You know, like someone says, "Would you like some dinner?" So, "Oh no, no, thanks, I don't want anything." And then it's like you get home and you raid your drawer and you just scoff loads of like crappy carbohydrate or sugar laden food. Um, what else have we got here? Yeah, like manipulation. Like what? So like you you don't have to. It becomes the most important thing. So I'm going to give it an example here. Like if I'm say doing a shopping list, I write down eggs, milk, bread, whatever, salad, tomatoes, and things. Um, I never have to write down beer or wine or something like that. I never have to write it down because I'm always going to get that from the shelf. That's the truth, and sometimes we lie to ourselves about that. But you know if that's you, and whatever it is, it becomes you engineer whatever it is that your thing that you're addicted to into just something that has to happen. This is the priority of the day. Um, Impulsive behavior, yeah. And then there's this other one I wrote, like responsibility, not taking responsibility for it. What's that quote? Blame it on my ADD. So ADD is attention deficit disorder, and I think I have that, or something like that. If I was ever to be diagnosed, not that I would want to shrink inside my head because I actually don't trust those guys very much. Um, but so it's not my fault. There's nothing I can do about it. But actually, you can do something about it. Something I discovered recently. This is after I decided to start doing. It's not keto, but low carbs. Was a book by Joseph Murphy, and it's an old book, and I'm sure lots of people have read it. But it's called "The Power of the Subconscious Mind," and in that, it has really, really helped me over the last sort of month or so in being able to sort of train my brain to to not just accept the way things are. I couldn't. That would be a thing for another video and another live stream to talk about this book or this power of the subconscious mind. But anyone out there that is sort of defeatist to themselves, you might outwardly say to other people, you might not admit, your fears or your failings, but yourself, and it's sort of techniques that you can use to help you convince your subconscious mind, because there is like an other you running the show behind whilst you're asleep and stuff like that, and you can convince your subconscious mind that is, I suppose it's a bit like hypnosis, if you like. You can convince yourself that you love exercise, or you don't like being drunk. It's not as simple as just saying it once or twice. You have to sort of choose a thing that you want to focus on and repeat it several times a day, every day for weeks. And you can create a really positive habit, because habits can be formed in the space of a few weeks, bad habits, but also really good positive habits can be formed. What else we got here? I was just watching some other videos or reading some information about this. Yeah, impulsivity. So that's me. This is my new thing again. I'm really into this subconscious mind thing at the moment. Will it last? Will I still be believing in that and practicing that in a year's time? We shall see. Will I stick to this new lifestyle of not eating carbs? Now, so far, I think it's been about 5 months, and I'm pretty certain I have now completely changed my whole diet and the whole way I think about food, and the weight is coming off. Actually, the only time it sort of stalls or stops coming off is when I drink alcohol. So if I have a few days running where I drink alcohol, I'll gain a few pounds. Whereas if I don't have any alcohol and I stick to the diet, it comes off. Maybe a pound a day, or maybe a pound every couple of days, but it's still coming off, and I feel great. Like my face, my neck, my body, my belly, everything. I'm having to throw away big clothes and get old, find the old clothes in the back of the wardrobe and this t-shirt, look, this is really baggy on me. What else we got? Risk taking. So yes, I think I've always been someone that sort of played risky with just my general activities, whether that was when you're a kid and you're playing dangerous games, like jumping off of rooftops and things like that. But it can also mean just taking risks with your health, or not really caring about yourself. So I think risk taking is there. Anxiety, something that lots of blokes don't admit to. And I say there's definitely something positive to be like a stoic person, but you can also, from time to time, you can admit, that you've got things that you're worried about, and you can share it with someone that someone that you trust. But as I say, generally speaking, a lot of blokes are like, I'm not talking about my problems with anybody. I'll take that and I'll stress and I'll force it right down inside, and that won't do any harm in the long run. Depression, I suppose depression and anxiety might well be connected. I honestly think the number one cure for depression is go outside and do something. Go for a walk in the nature. It is, for me, the number one thing to do. And when you're out and you find that local park or a lake, or if you live near a coast, walk along a beach or something, it has an incredible healing effect on you. It really does. And I can't recommend that highly enough. And genetics. I suppose that might be the one that a lot of people put this down to. My mum and my dad's an alcoholic, so there's no chance for me. And there is certainly something to be said for that. I think that probably I read that it may well be up to about half of the people that have sort of this addictive personality disorder. Sorry about that noise. Will have someone closely related that has drinking issues or gambling issues or something like that. So yeah, there is, but it doesn't mean that you have to. And I think that is probably one of the biggest hurdles, because that's the sort of self-defeated, well, why am I even trying to do something positive here? Because my dad was like this, or my brother's like this, or my mum, or something like that. So yeah, I would say you don't have to. And do, if anyone does from this, is look into that book by Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. If you're not religious, I'm not religious, by the way. There is a bit of that in there. It is sort of, he talks about prayer, like scientific prayer and things like this. But actually, when you get down to it, what he's really talking about is, it's the same thing. If you're praying for something and you're doing it over and over and over again, it is, in a way, you're still sending that message to yourself. This is what I want. But the thing about it as well is, don't create a shopping list and say, I want to change this and this and this and this and this. You sort of focus on a thing. I want to stop eating when I'm not hungry. That might be, for people watching this, I want to, I no longer want a big meal. So you deliberately only create a small meal. I will eat this meal slowly, so that I give my brain a chance to get a signal from my stomach when there is actually enough food in my stomach. So that, because many people out there might say you never get that message, and you can just keep eating and eating and eating. But with these techniques, I think you really can. I think you really can get to it, and you can, over a period of about a month or so, if you just keep repeating the mantra to yourself over and over and over again, that other you, that mechanics of you, not the personality side of you that's outward, the one that's behind, that's running the engine, making your hair grow and making your lungs breathe without you thinking about it. The whole video, the time I've been doing this video, you haven't thought about breathing once, yet you've been breathing the whole time. Now you're thinking about breathing. Sorry about that. Don't forget to breathe. So on that note, I am going to end this broadcast. I don't know if anybody watched it, anybody interacts with it. I don't even know if it went live. But if it did, thank you very, very much. And, check out the other videos I've made on this channel, Uncle Matt Does Keto. And if you like, check out Uncle Matt's Cookery Lessons. I think you might like some of my videos there. Anyway, see you soon. Bye.